Okay, so we've got the wing shape, and if you want, you can click here. See this double-headed arrow? If I click there, it will toggle that so you can see your shape maybe a little bit more clearly. Okay, so I'm going to move, whoa, Control 0. I'm going to move, those touchpads have a hair trigger. I'm going to move and zoom in, spacebar, Control key, and I'm going to move here. Okay, so now I'm zoomed in on the tail. If you need to move your view of the document around, you can hold down the spacebar. You'll notice I got a little hand here, and when I click and drag with the cursor, it will move. So if you have a touchpad, let's see how that works with a touchpad. So with a touchpad, not so much. So I am not sure how we'll do that, but let's see if you have a touchpad here. Yes, so here I am left clicking with the hand tool. So let's try that again here with just the space bar down, left clicking, moving, not working. So a little buggy there, alright? So if you wanted to try and move, you need to select the hand tool if you are just using the touchpad. Alright, let's get back to it. So now, we're going to reverse these colors back so we have our stroke. I'm going to hit caps lock, and now I'm going to do just half of the tail. Coming down, clicking and dragging. Okay, so let's review once more for those of you who are using the touchpad. Alt, left click, dragging down. There we go. And I'm going to click down here. I'm going to come up just a wee bit to make that point. Coming back down, right about there. Still using the touchpad for this. Alright, mostly in polygon mode. Coming down. And then I'm going to bring it all the way up here and seal my shape. Remember, when we get that circle at the end, when we come back around to where we began, that means I am closing the shape. We do not want to leave it as an open shape. Okay? So, to make this a little bit more interesting and get this a little more exact, remember how I showed you rulers. Control R, or you can come up here under View and click on Rulers. Okay? So now we have now we have a ruler, all right? And it's hidden on this right-hand side on our left-hand side. It's hidden underneath here. So what I need to do is drag out a guide. I'm going to drag this guide out to right where it looks like the center of the phoenix is, so that I can make sure that everything flips nicely. All right, so let's get our toolbar back the way I like it. Okay, and now I'm going to use the direct selection tool. I'm going to draw a box, and I'm going to pull both of these points. My guide is not locked. Undo, Control Z. Let's go up and take a look at guides. So guides, you can come down here under lock guides. So now my guide will not move. All right, I'm going to pull this over, and so now I can pull this line over, and it will snap to the guide. All right, lovely. All right, so now let's select the tail, and we're going to flip that color also. Okay. So there is a way that you can flip and flop things in Illustrator. If you come over here underneath the rotate tool, click and hold down on that. Oh my goodness, why will it not let me do that? Let's see. Control Z. So to select more than one object, I'm going to click on one object, hold down the Shift key, select another object. And I'm going to come over here, hold down, and get the Reflect tool. The important thing about the Reflect tool, okay, is that where you click is where the point of the reflection will originate. It may not make much sense now, but watch. Okay, so I'm going to hold down the Alt key. I get a little minus sign by my cursor. You'll see that. If I click, I get a dialog box. Okay. Dialog box, we are going to flip this vertically, okay? you can even click on preview. But what if we click copy? Oh, look at that. All right. So now what have we got? Let's zoom back out and take a look. Control 0. All right. We're darn near done, believe it or not. The head will come quickly. Let's just take care of that right now. I'm going to come in here with my pen tool and just knock this out really quickly. Okay. Uh-oh. I'm going to have to turn off. Reverse that stroke. There we go. Click in here. Okay, now I'm going to click and drag to pull the circle or this Bezier curve handle out. All right. I'm going to alt click here for those of you with a mouse. All right. And then if you do not have a mouse, once again, alt, left click, drag. Okay. And I'm going to pull point down to here. And you'll notice that I am going way outside of the area that I need to. Okay. And let's make the eye while we're in here. We can make this in 3 points. Okay. When you're digitizing something like this with all these vector handles, the less points you have, the smoother your curves will be. So let's just adjust this little bit of the noggin here. Right. I think I like that a little better. Okay. So now we're going to reverse this out. Okay. And we're not going to worry about the eye. Okay. So let's click on all of our objects, holding down the Shift key. Okay. And now I am going to find the Pathfinder tool. Pathfinder is over here, maybe some of your docs. I don't know if everybody's got that. So you can find Pathfinder under Window. Okay. And then this one right here in the very top left corner, Unite. Watch what happens. Whoa, check it out. Those 4 pieces have now been united into one object. All right. And another nifty thing that we can do is if we go in here, you'll notice that our eye is still on top. So that's a good thing. We want that. So another thing we have not done yet is to make sure how to get these colors. And we can get them exactly. Okay, so right now I have my swatch menu open, okay, which you can find up into our window and scroll. Should be able to scroll down. Not letting me scroll here in this, but swatches you should be able to get to. Come on. There we go. There's a little triangle. There we go. There's swatches. Okay, so swatches is up. All right. And we can click on the eyedropper tool. So if I click on eyedropper, now you'll notice this color is up here. Click and drag that down into a location somewhere in here. And then if we also wanted to get the gray color, we can click on an area with the gray and we can drag that color gray. Or maybe we just pull it up there. Alright. So now we have our colors are side by side. We know what's going on. So let's click on the Phoenix. Okay. And we'll expand this a little bit so we can see our 2 colors. We're going to make the fill color gray. And then we click on the stroke color over here. We're going to go back to our swatch tab. Give that a magenta stroke. And then watch. I'm coming up here under stroke and I'm making the stroke thicker. Okay, click on the eye and we're going to turn off any stroke on that, and then we are going to come back to swatch and give that a magenta eye. So how good did we do? Let's check it out and see. I'm going to turn off the visibility for the layer underneath. Not bad, not bad at all. Let's zoom in down here. Whoa, Control 0. I'm going to zoom in down here. The bottom of the tail is looking a little funky, and there's an easy way to fix this. So I'm going to come in here with my direct selection tool, And what happens if I, oops, Control Z. What happens if I pull this up? No, that's not doing it for me. What happens if I change this just a hair? Still not quite getting it. All right, there's another way you can work with this situation. If you get, there is a stroke menu, okay? Down here, Control F10, all right? And let's pull the stroke palette out. Limit over here. This is some kind of technology, so I'm going to change that to 2. You'll notice what happened to the ends of my points. They got squared off there. Not exactly what I was looking for. There's also a lot of controls in here. We won't get into that right now. It was set to 10. Let's check 15 and see what happens. Right. Didn't like 15, did it? There we go. So there's 15. Still not exactly fixing it though. All right, let's try and pull this a little bit further out. There we go. Now we're getting something. Okay, so now I'm going to pull this one just a little bit over. Get it maybe exactly perfect, maybe not. There we go. I think that's pretty good. Let's zoom back out and take a look. All right, that's a pretty rocking cool Phoenix. Okay, now if you wanted to do the letters down here, you can do these all with the polygon tool. Let's zoom in and I'll just do the R very quickly. Okay, so I'm going to create yet another layer here. We're going to call this text. All right. We're going to lock down digitize, okay, and let's change the color here so we know what we're working with. I'm going to make this cyan, right, and we're going to go to the pen tool, and this should be real easy for those of you who are, look at that, we need to change something, don't we? That's crazy. All right, so let's get that up. We are going to turn off the fill color. And then our stroke is set for 8 points. So let's zoom this in. We don't need this. Let's pull this. And we are going to make this 1 point. Okay? And now let's continue back around here. Alright, so there's my outside shape. Now we're going to do the inside of the R. Voila. Okay, very quickly. So now we have 2 shapes. If I were to grab them both, let's make them magenta. Turn off the fill color. Okay, and you're probably saying, well, dude, Mr. E, what's up with the inside of the R? It's not working. All right, let's go up here into Object, come down to Compound Path. Okay, so Object, once again, Compound Path, Make, or you can hit Control 8. There we go. Compound Path will punch out something out of the middle of a shape. So if I was to move this around, you can see that there is actually a hole in the R. All right, so have at it. I'd like to see how far you guys can get. I really want to see the Phoenix. If you want to go for it and do the text as well, you may. But I'm looking to check your Phoenix to make sure that you have used the curves and you got starting and stopping and corners and things like that in there. So good luck.